I'm gonna go ahead and look over some video comments for some fun relief, comic relief I call it. Never did get anything done on that helping people in live feed shit, but APS, I need someone that really knows how to run a YouTube channel that can help me for extremely low money. Yeah, real low. This channel doesn't make money. But anyway, it's been a mess. Let's go see what the latest comments are. See if anybody noticed I wasn't doing any posting. Let's go over here. Yeah, we gotta be over where you can see too. See, I like having me in the screen on TV. That way you can see how stupid I look when I give you dumbass comments. Oh, I got 9+ comments I haven't read in the last week. Amazing. That'd be a YouTube dub comment. Are you wearing a mask now? Can't hear you. That would be no. The doctor said to wear it. No. Get over it. I'm a big boy. I'm free. I live in America. I do what the hell I want to do. If you can't understand that, too damn bad. Because I don't give a crap. You got a little too many projects. Oh boy, that's a genius there. Those Harleys won't fix themselves. That's for a fact. These are all old video comments too. I guess you guys are watching old videos. That's good. In case you didn't know, there's over 3,800 of them. Watch the playlist. There's over 250 of those, I think. They play in order. We go to a playlist. You click on the button and it plays the whole order. First one on to the finish. Except on a couple long videos like Walker and a couple of other ones, there's multiple playlists. Too many videos. Or maybe they come back too often. Someone's twisted. Wonderful. I don't think this works. You can't read the comments like I can. Comments are over here. See, I can read comments and lie like this. You have to go each video. Under every video, there is dumbass comments. Didn't go to it yet. Now this is my XP computer and they blocked XP use on YouTube, but it still kind of works. See right over here, you get comments. See videos up here. You don't want to watch them stupid ass commercials, which I hate. Supposedly they pay me money. That big dollar money I get on YouTube, it's called, when I had around 500,000 views a month, you get about 1/4 cent per view. Figure that, calculate that out. Get a calculator? Go for it. Now, since I started having more viewership, and they started flooding all the videos with videos, or not video, ads, but you know, crappy ones too. Then they dropped down to 1/8 cent. So I'm not sure how I'm making money with that. But oh well. I was spiking around 800,000 videos there the last couple of weeks before I got sick, but I haven't looked yet to see what my analytics are. But anyway, there's some comments. I don't know if that's too big, too small. This is free. Try it. No damn way do I want your stupid free cable crap. Nothing's free in this world except my videos. Well, those aren't free either. You have to watch the stupid ads. See, now I'm too big. See, nothing's free again. You have to watch ads. Now, if you send me lots of money, then I can do it for free, but nobody pays. They like free. I like helping lots of people, so I don't really care. If you can tell by all the vehicles I drive, I don't really care about money either, so there you go. So are those big enough you can read there? There you go. See under here they got these comments. So these are 14 hours ago, 3 years ago. How the hell did they sort that? There's 109 comments in this comment on this video. How about newest first? Stupid. Well, you guys can reply back to comments too if you want. Now, as long as you keep it relative to the video, I'm okay with it. When you start talking about other crap, this is not a blog. So if you want to go to a blog, go to your own damn blog. This is not a blog. This is a learning channel. Some people like entertainment, but whatever. It's learning. So if you want to blog, do that. If you want to put helpful ways of doing things, the way I do stuff ain't the only way. It ain't the only best way. I think it's the best way. If you prove me wrong, I'll change. But until then, screw you. But figure it out yourself. There's more than one way of doing everything. And that's the difference between a mechanic and a tech. Tech thinks they know everything. Mechanic knows they're a dumbass. Proven fact many times. So that's how you are. We don't care. We just fix it the best we can to the quality we want to work to. My problem is my quality is a little bit too high. So it takes way too long to work, get anything done. So like I said, you can click on these, you can reply all these different things. So this 3 weeks ago, and it goes 3 months ago. Like I said, this is an old video, so it's not too popular. That is not my video. If you notice, I don't have very many girly videos in my videos. So we'll get back to my real comments. Oops, there was 3 years ago. Oh, somebody figured out the video was 3 years old. Now, if you want to know how old a video is, they all are date coded. Some people don't understand how cameras work these days. How do you get to the video? There you go. I think it works better when I'm doing it by hand. I can't follow along with this stupid camera. You probably can't either. This is an unedited video, like all of them are. Okay, this code right here, the date code. The first digits are the years. So it's 2016, and you got the month, 08. Oh, that was a year ago, August. Actually, it's 4 years ago. And it was on the 25th. What's the day? The day is, I don't know. XP. Stupid computers like me. It's August 20th. At least for another 20 more minutes it is. And then it goes into minute and second. So if you ever want to know how old these videos are, they tell you right there. Oh, my subscribers are up again. I picked up a few hundred while I wasn't here. That's good. So anyway, you go in here and you watch your comments. Like I said, these are the comments. You change how you sort it, do all that. Go back over here. There's no good comments right now. These are all old ones. Oh, we got panhead crap. This guy has a 1956 panhead Softail. Good. I have one too. It's called a seat post, and a seat that goes up and down. It's a lot lighter, I bet, than his. Is there a follow-up to this video? If it's the last one in the series, no. If there's more in the playlist after this one, yes. Now these all have dates on the videos. All have what the videos are, and they have what number they are. Now this is a playlist. It's different looking. Once again, if you go over here, click on the video, get the video running. This looks like a Walker video. So it's a 1972 Sportster, and it's a number 118 out of this playlist, which means it's number 18 because we start at 101. That way, this is the 18th video in the playlist. That's why I started at 101 as my first. 101 is number 1 video on the list. See 107 right here? That means it's the 7th video. Get the idea? This one here won't tell me what it is. So, okay, now I know which video he's in. He's in the Walker video. 18 clutch. This is the first series of Walker videos. The other series says he's back again or something. I can go back over here and see what he wanted. It takes too much work to go over there. Let's go this other way. If I back up over here. So I can get all this stuff. You can't see this stuff. I can. So these are all the different playlists in the wrong area. Here's my video. Let's see. They really screw up my video. YouTube does not like XP. I can't read that. Comments. The comment section does work though. There, now we can read current stuff. Oh, there's a current video. Sportster. Look at a dumbass. He can't even get a bike off a rack. Have you ever tried doing that? It ain't exactly the easiest thing in the world, you dumbass. I've seen guys drop them, get them out of pickup trucks. I've seen drop them driving over a curb. Stupid. That's when I'm moving my junk around again. What do you want? Lifetime of crap. Yep, that's right. That's called life savings. What's a 48 pan-head frame going for these days? Money in the bank, except mine doesn't go down in value. Mine goes up in more than 0.5% a year in my videos, in my rack back there. Let's see, here's a nice long one. 82 bag, whatever. He wants tuning device. Tuning device, I try to help quickly where I can. I don't get too carried away. This guy's trying to do single fire or something on a stock bike. Why is bike backfiring? I don't know, tight valves maybe? Timing out of whack? Maybe you got the plug wires hooked up wrong, reverse the plug wires. That's always a good one. Let's see, he taught Terminator how to ride Harley Davidson. Who knows Terminator? Is that me? I already know how to ride a bike. 6 days out and no further clips. Well, you get what you pay for? Oh, kind of. I knew someone's got to put that word in there. No. Kind of. It is the first vacation I've had in decades. 7 days off, not at Bonneville? Yeah, I'll be here. Hospital. That's how you get days off. We're up to their shelves. Kid doesn't know how to lift shit up. I do. That's where he learned he was 3 years old. Incredibly dangerous. Welding torch, plastic mats, bare feet. It's a video of not what to do anymore. To everyone. Not to do everyone. Well, I didn't tell you to do it the way I do it. I'll show you how I do it. The technique that was being used was called torch on Bondo and chip off with hammer. That was the technique. Now, with the fact that I have a constipated working location and I like bare feet, that's my fault. Or not really a fault. I like that. Only got a couple light burns on them. Big deal. It goes back. Probably a good thing you didn't tell me I didn't wear safety glasses. I'd be in trouble. Yeah. Let's see. Very nice Harley. Takes good care of it. Yep, he does. This is a little baby. Keep Fred off camera. First time I heard that one. She had less good sounding HD motors. Yeah, I wouldn't say that. Any Harley with good cams in it and a lot of strokes sounds good to me. Now, when you guys ride from wherever you're coming from in Russia here, or one of them Federation things, I have to go over here, go like this, copy, pop up over here. Excuse me. Too much talking with a bad throat. That didn't work because I didn't do it correctly. You translate, that's how you do it. That doesn't work. Okay, you put in translate here is what you really do. Then you go right here. You paste it in, it tells you what it is. That is not, so that's Georgian to English. That was not the right response. So did I do something wrong or what? I don't know. Try it again. Boom. Get rid of that. So, Google doesn't know what this translation is. That's pretty rare, but it does happen. So if that doesn't work, we try a different translation. We can try different English. Oh, there we go. Got rid of that part. That is, I can't even read what the hell that means. Chongan. So I guess it's some kind of a Chinese, Japanese dialect or something. I don't know. Strong cast iron used to be made. Actually, the newer the stuff is, the stronger it is, but yeah, whatever. What did I do? I got lost. That happens a lot. I'm always lost. So I'll probably come back and make a comment. Just because I can't read it, they can read it, I guess. Electric start on the bike. What a genius. Yeah. Rear Harleys, you can't put electric start on because they're too damn old. No provisions. Of course, the aftermarket's taking care of a lot of that, but it's still the fact that matters. I don't like it. I sound like Nickel Kid. Who the hell he is, who cares? Right now I sound like crap. If everybody wants to sell a Harley, let me know. Beautiful. What bike was that? Oh yeah, we'll bring about 100K and he might talk, but I can already tell you he's going to tell you go screw yourself because it's his dad's old bike. You're never going to get that out of that family. Not ever going to happen. What's this one here? This ought to be a good one. Stupid computer. So you haven't used a computer in a week and it locks up 5 minutes in the deal. Oh, why it's stuck in Georgian. I don't know who that is. And how do you tell yourself news? How do you tell yourself news obsessively? I have no idea what that means. Feel free to make a comment to him about what that means, because I don't know. Maybe you can explain it and then I'll comment to that. I only speak in English. People speak English language, it doesn't get any better. An Evo done-up is like in an old Panhead. Actually, that is not a fake bike. That is a real, honest-to-God Panhead motor and an Evo chassis. That is a big Panhead motor. It's a 93 cubic inch Panhead. It's one of those Yankee Ingenuity motors. Pretty good motor. Runs good. Hauled ass. Reliable. It's a real bike. That's the Road Glide. Did you have a flash in ECM for new cams? Oh, did you flash ECM? Hell no. Why would you do that? Didn't you do that? Wives' tales. They're supposed to run like, it makes them sound like good when they run like shit. Once it runs up on the main jet, it's fine though, so it's good. Why does the Harley Big Twin 3R transmission grind going into first? Because the sliding dog gear, it's a sliding gear, not a dog. The whole damn gear slides back and forth. And there's a very large RPM drop between the gears. So if you actually match the RPM to what you're trying to do, it'd run a lot better. So learn how to power shift, or power shift works too. Learn how to shift without a clutch correctly, and you can make it shift a lot better. You have to match RPMs. If you ever actually drove a vehicle, you would know that. Luxury of new vehicles, all these synchros, you don't have to just shove it in, it doesn't make any difference. Old stuff, you had to be more careful. Don't know about your neck of the woods, but here in Tampa, lactate wheat went for 20 bucks a bottle to 50 bucks a bottle. Yeah, so you think it's different here? Bottle you times, just use it very sparingly. I don't like dumping on there for no reason either. You only need a drop or two. Most people overuse their products a lot. A few drops here and there is all you really need. And yeah, the stuff is very expensive. And customers don't pay for it either. What type of clutch hub do you prefer? 3-stud, 5? How about none? Put a Barnett Scorpion in it. It has 6 that work correctly. Oh, I don't know. My preference actually is probably a 3-stud with the Ramjet retainer, which is they make a plastic one called a Tamer that a copy of it works good, but it wears out because it's just a piece of plastic from a steel, heavy-ass steel hub. So, and I'd probably go 3/5. Definitely do not use those long, stupid rollers. Use the stock cage bearings. It will spin true every time, whereas the other one, if you put the long roller in there, what happens is the roller doesn't stay straight like it should. It'll twist this way. When it twists this way, the belt will go one way or the other. It'll track one way. When it goes this direction, the other direction, it'll track this way. So the bearings are constantly going like this. So the whole belt drive is just what it is. But the chain doesn't matter. The basket will go boop until it bottoms out, then it comes out this way until it bottoms. It goes back and forth like this. And of course, every time it does that, every time it hits the backside of a hit to change direction, it locks the clutch up, trying to make it go. So it's called dragging. It's a good idea. It didn't work. So that's why I don't use them. Oh, they're picking a walker again. You want a hardtail for your Sportster. Geez, I've never seen that done before. Shit, about 1 million different kits out there. Go buy one or just make your own. It doesn't matter. Or be cheap, put a set of struts on it. Solid. Drop it down to about a 1/2 inch off the tire and you'll be good. Cut the ears off the frame and half the people won't even know it's not a rigid frame. Because it actually is rigid at that point. A lot cheaper. If you look at my race bikes, they have aluminum bars down the side with my foot pegs off the bottom of them. Make my race bikes. They're cheap. Fred, no camera. Always picking on Fred again. #1 rule: always work at your own shit. Yeah, but most people don't have their own shit, so when they come over here, they can use my stuff as long as they don't break it. Put it back dirty. Put it in the wrong spot. Lose it. Break it. Definitely not preferred. Other than that, I don't care. What kind of glue for guys for you using? That's not glue, it's called press fit lube. It makes the guy go in the hole and not gull up. Craftsmanship and cool tools. Are you talking about craftsman tools or craftsmanship of how I do my work? See, now this is on a buyer beware video. It's probably about the quality of my work you didn't like. I wouldn't be surprised that motor's still fucking running out there. Actually, except for the wrist pin bushing, gluing them in, which I knew was not going to work. Everything else I did that motor run for probably 5 years. Amazingly, but true. It will. That is unless you ride at 15,000 miles a year or more, and you might get 1 year out of it. Teach Fred to use a damn camera. Why don't you figure out yourself, Mr. Finger? See, we got somebody has a comment logo like this. That's a real genius there. You know you got some serious brain power involved. Very important, very important. I think you need a person that spends the rest of your life, their life, going, you touch my damn parts, I'm going to kill your ass. I know where my parts are. I want to see it in a frame of running. Yeah, well, too bad. I don't work on the bikes, I work on the motors. See, I don't have to see a bike run, listen to it run. I already know what it's going to run like. I built the damn thing. I don't need to hear all that stuff. That's why it doesn't make any difference how it starts up. It's going to sound the same when I do it. They always start the same. You listen to my bikes, they start up and run good. Unless the carburetor's way the hell off, they run pretty close. And usually I pre-jet them, so they're pretty close. See, someday after watching all Tetro vids, I'll be able to put a bike together from swap me parts and then fix it. Well, that is the point if you didn't catch it already. That's how I build all my bikes pretty much. I rarely buy a bike that's complete. I always buy junk and put it together. Oh, pick on for old Lorenzi again. What'd he do? Boy, he really sucks on breaking it in. Actually, he's not. Everybody thinks that's a 117 in there now, even though it's a stock 103 that what I did, I was in the video, I didn't change anything. All I did was put new rings in it, grind the seats half-assed, so at least they seal. Ground the valves fairly good, so they do actually work good there. Put a crank in there after I straightened it and loosened it up and made it true, very true. And that's about it for parts. Put some new gaskets in it. Does those count? The bike's 10 times faster than it used to be, but that's because now it runs correctly. The computer probably jetted it correctly because now I was getting the correct signal from the correctly sealed valves and rings. And it all runs correctly. Amazing. It's called tuning. If the computer can tune it, it'll run good. Back in the real stuff, tuning is done by me, and then it runs really good. But yeah, he's out there drag racing. He's going out this weekend, doing some drag racing. He's kicking up. He's pissing off a lot of guys. He just bought some chains tonight to do a chain conversion on that thing. We got 3 bikes putting chain conversion on tonight or tomorrow for next weekend. Seems to be the hot thing around here. They're getting tire replacing belts. Let's see. Is there an S-nut coil that fits on the coil on a Softail? I don't think that'll fit on a stock Softail coil either. I think that coil cover is still too small to fit over a single fire coil. V-Twin and a couple other companies were making a bigger coil cover. At least they used to. It only needs to be about a 1/4 inch bigger is all you need. Let's see. Walker, nothing against sporties, but you are way too big for that. He ain't big, he's a skinny little fucker. What are you talking about? He's running the piss out of that bike. He's pissing off a lot of new Ghana guys. They're going to think they're going to walk off and leave from him. He pulls up right next to him and says, "Oh, I got to go, bye." And he takes off and leaves. Now, his bike is not stock, but it is stock size. Once again, most of these bikes are about how you put them together, not what's inside them, within reason. A stock P-cam bike put together correctly is a very fast bike. We put Y-cams on his bike, and it really woke it up. Those are good cams for the street. They got good power downstairs, good power upstairs. It's a little weak under 3, but it'll work down under 3, but it's not happy, but it run down there. But let's face it, what Sportster out there running at 3,000 RPM? The things are at 4,000 all the time, most of the time. We did gears up, so 3,000 RPM is probably like 80 now. Why is the bill underneath for? Oh, Tinkerbell? I don't know. Go some biker bar and ask them. They get tired. They don't like it when I rip them off the bike, though. A very cool pan chop. Young lad's got right attitude. Oh, that's Ryan. Yeah. Yep. Good kid. Going in the Coast Guard here in another month or so. He'll be a good kid. He ain't a kid, he's an adult. He's way past being a kid, but good head on his shoulder, good perspective on life. That's all that really matters. Looking for panhead bottom and parts. Yeah, he's good for you. Except for cases, everything else ain't that hard to find. If you're looking for cases, yeah, good luck. So is everybody else. 124 for S&S for a Softail. I think it's a bit of a piss off. They don't provide you with a true flywheel right off the hoop, right off the hop. The flywheels are very true and very tight. They just can't hold a rod with the crap or size it correctly. I wouldn't do a 124, it's too much stroke for most guys. I don't know if that's an Evo motor they're talking about or a twin cam. This is on a twin cam video, so 117, the way to go. Stock stroke, 4 3/8 with the 4 1/8 bore. Very reliable combination, not too much vibration. Very strong runner, good power everywhere. 124, just shake your teeth out. You can make a 117 eat 124s all day if you want. It's all about the tuning and the assortment of parts you use, and then definitely how you put it together. Let's see, I started watching his show a couple months back. It's great. I wish I still had my Harley. Are you an Air Force vet? I used to work for a NAFA. This must be off an old video. I know I had an Air Force shirt that I always wore. I used to, before I got my shirts made, I would get my sisters would bring me stuff from the Goodwill or the trash, wherever they picked them up, and I would wear them. Because I don't really give a crap what I wear, as long as there's some stupid junk on it anyway. And I don't mind wearing Air Force stuff at all. I'm fine with that. Nothing wrong with the military. I am in a Navy town, a Marine town. I don't know if he's trying to pick on me for that. But no, I'm not a vet. I just lived around military all my life. So you don't have to be a military to have a good point of life in the world. Let's see. My tag runs out in December also. Yeah, okay, that's nice. Not sure why that matters. Does that dual seal sprocket nut really do anything when the shaft is splined? Anyway, this is on with a Panhead video. It only works if you have the sleeve out of 77 to 79 transmission that does not have that groove in it for the lock tab that keeps it from not spinning with the high gear. It's completely worthless because it just drains right down that clip. You can put a lot of sealer on there and pretend it's going to seal it, but in the real world, it just kind of slows it down. All the Andrews 4th gears now made have O-ring grooves cut in them, and they come with an O-ring. So kind of like a Softail now, it has an O-ring surface to seal the sleeve against. So you put that on in there, and put a seal nut on the outside. That helps. If you often notice when I do those transmissions, I do not put any lock tabs on there. I use Loctite. The less places for oil to leak through, the better. And I put sealer on the surfaces, and if I got a really rough sprocket, I will sand it fairly flat and make the surface as smooth as I can so the sealer can seal against it and it'll actually seal pretty good. So I've had pretty good luck with transmissions lately. Oh, Keith's 82. 80, what was his bike? 1980, I think. Chevrolet's that chopper, that old 70s, early 70s chopper with the flame tanks I think had on it. Yeah, that bike, he doesn't leak a drop, plenty of power, very, very happy with it. Transmission doesn't leak, motor don't leak. It's all a bunch of crap, so you can't make an old bike not leak if the parts are put in correctly and the parts are made right. And you put assemble it correctly, they don't leak. That goes all the way back into the 30s probably. Now you get into the mid 30s on back, that pretty well stops in the 40s, I guess. You go back before you get in the 30s as things start moving around a lot, especially early 30s, and they actually have holes in there for all that stuff to drain out, so there's no real way of sealing up that stuff very well. Let's see, 61 trans and top end video about a month ago. You said you like Diamond permanent chain. Yep, best chains out there. But not their drive chain. Well, their drive chains suck. Worst chains. There you go. They can make one chain really good. One chain not very good. Does anybody know why the primary chain lives? It has nice big square plates, very strong, and it lives in oil all the time. Very well lubricated, very important. There you go. Teacher is fucking men or man? No. I'm an 84. I had an 84 Ironhead, went all of Europe on it, up in two. Must have been mad. Well, went all over Europe on it, 2 up. Must have been mad. Who would have been mad? You? Sounds like you're having fun to me. Are you pissing the bike off? Fix the damn thing if you're pissed. Just give it more power, it'll be happy. How much you charge for that FX? That has nothing to do with Learning Channel. That has to do with a payment system. So if you go to Working Channel, where we do work and estimates and stuff like that, which of course I don't do online, and you do it, it's called email. And once again, I am not taking any work in, no more for a while. I have 3 to 5 year backlog right now. I'm tired of getting people cut in there and I never get anything done. And now I'm getting kind of sick, it slowed it down even more. Well, of course, unless there's a good story behind it, I can feel sorry for you, and yeah, I might break down by accident. Hey buddy, I'm working on a 62FL. What would you suggest for ignition, mag or electron? Mag needs a crash on the junk pile. Electronic distributor, very good idea, if you find a good one. Or use the old distributor. You cannot beat points on an old pan head. They just start and run and run and run. Now 62 had a dual coil system on it. The coils are crap. No good replacement out there that I know of yet. So you're pretty much shit out of luck, you would say. V-Twin just came out with a knockoff of the V-Twin distributor, which is a knockoff of a Spike distributor. And they probably stole it from somebody else. And it's a very, very cheap kit. I bought 3 of them. In those boxes right there. They're like $300, $350 for a distributor, reverse rotation gear set, and you know, the shitty electronic ignition module it gives you with it. And you get all that. So what I do is I take out the ignition module and I say, this thing's a piece of crap. I would never use it for anything. It's free because it comes with ignition, so if you want it, you can have it, otherwise it's junk. And then I sell them one of those cheap-ass Ultimate ignition kits over there. I sell a lot of those right down there. And those work pretty good. You can reprogram. You have to reprogram for kickstart purposes, but I'll probably be doing an ignition swap out of my 57 panhead drag bike when I take the front end off to recode it. I'll probably be yanking the distributor out and putting that in there, and I'll give it a good ring out at the drag strip and see how good it is, but it should be good. So, yeah, that's, I don't know how long V-Twin's going to be knocked. They're selling them like half price, so buy that kit like that, it's cheap. The other kits were like $500 and take through the coil or something like that. Coils are not that expensive. But anyway, magnetos suck. I don't care what they do. They're looks. Strictly for looks. You know, if you buy a really, really good brand new one, I'll give you about a 75% chance of being a good deal. Yeah, probably more than that. Probably at least 80% is going to be a nice strong mag. If you use, if you have any kind of a rebuilt mag or an old mag, no, they're junk, pure junk. You got 10% power at best. Pure crap. It has to be 100% brand new mag. And then with all new parts and put together correctly, they actually put out a decent spark. So either spend the $1,500, $2,000 to do it right, or don't do it. You will not be happy when the mag will not start. And that's why those bikes don't start. The ignitions suck. These videos are relaxing. Like a good escape watching this. Plus I'm learning stuff. There you go. See, we relax you, make your brain open up, and then we tell you something important. Maybe you'll even learn how to think in the meantime, too. That'd be the second thing, would be even better. Most of this stuff you have to learn how to think. These bikes, they do not work. You know, the old stuff I know, the new stuff, I've never worked on a lot of this stuff before in my life, so you figure it out as you go. But you have to be able to think to figure things out. Reading means you're only going to pick up whatever the dumbass that wrote this. Whoever wrote the darn article or whatever you're reading, you're coming from his knowledge base, and then you got to remember it went through a text, computer-generated text thing for spelling, so things do get aired when that happens too, and things start sounding stupid. And yeah, you get what you get. So learn that firsthand is the only real way of doing things correctly. It also pays to be precise which Tetra is. That's, you misspelled which. Put an H in there, buddy. Thing called spell checker. It's automatic. You have to recognize the word is spelled wrong, though. It's spelled correctly, just the wrong word. I think he's pretty damn good, if I say so myself. Try to. He can make work on my bike anytime. You know, listen to the other commenters. Zoom in closer to your work, Mel and Lave. Awesome content. Well, when it's too close, you don't like it. When it's too far away, you don't like it. So, oh well. get what you get. That's why you vary it around a little bit. I just TIG welded it up. There's nothing but binding the two parts. I just scraped it. Okay, it's good for you. You don't think it cracked next to those welds? I'd be shocked if it didn't. Just one up an old Ford block. He didn't say it was a Babbitt bearing motor or a non-Babbitt bearing motor, so if it's a Babbitt bearing motor, you probably lost some Babbitt. Let's see, for some of us it would be great if you really, well, if you didn't know what we're talking about, that's the 32 Ford flathead race motor that I fixed for an old friend. I'm in the San Diego Roadster Club and the SCTA, and we have a lot of old members. And I'm not going to tell you by a motor it was, but anyway, it's one of the original. He was racing in, I think he started in 41. So that motor was supposed to go in his original car that he still had the day he died. And the anyway, evidently what happened was the motor was running up at Bonneville in a belly tank of his, and at some point it blew a hose, so it ran the 7 miles with 30% load of nitro in the motor with no coolant. So it had some issues. I was never told that. I was just told to fix the cracks. So when I fixed the cracks, I've used lock and stitch before. I know how it works. I never used it on super thin metal. This stuff is tissue paper thinness. Everyone's put a sleeve in a block and just start over. This is a race motor. It's a big bore motor. We class race and we're big ass inches. And those cylinders are as low as 40 thou thick and going down that crack in place. If you look in the video, there's a couple hole pin, casting porosity marks in there, and those things are super thin. And the thicker part was only like 80. So how are you going to bore a motor out, put a sleeve in it when there's no metal there? What are you going to bore through this outside the sleeve and inside the motor and hope it doesn't leak oil or blow apart? Good luck on that one. If you weld it, you got to furnace braze the things to really do it right. If you don't furnace braze, you duplicate a furnace by sticking into blankets and stuff to get the motor nice and hot. Well, the Babbitt melts at 400 degrees, 450. Cast iron melts at 3,000. Yeah, you figure it out. But anyway, I wound up pinning it. I used a combination of a lock and stitch. They have like shark shape. They go like this. Look like a set of earplugs. If you ever seen the earplugs they're made where their angles go like this in the plug. They have a thread that cuts like that, and when you tighten it up, it pulls the metal together and makes it stronger than if it wasn't there. And then you just tighten up until the pin breaks off, and you put this aerobotic sealer in there to seal it. And it won't leak oil or water past it. I use that in certain areas, and in other areas I use the tapered pins because that's what they told me to do. I never done that before in that application. My race motor is all lock and stitch together on the head. It's 100%. It's so bad they couldn't save it. They say they can save anything. They couldn't save my head. So I'd tell them, send me down this kit, that kit, and some pins, and thanks. So they've sent it down. I stitched the thing all up, put it back together. It's 20 years later, it's still on the bike. Or 15 years later, still on the bike, still runs. It went faster. So because the experts can't fix it doesn't mean I won't. They just don't want to put the time into it. But anyway, I did the combination like they said to, how they did it. You have to use a combination of two. It's like anything. If you got a loose surface here that's just sitting here, you got to tie the corners down hard and go a little bit of distance here, and then you can have taper pins in the middle. And in this long section here, you have to break it up with a couple good pieces where you're pulling it together, and then you use the taper ones, go down there to do it that way. And then you cut everything all off. So inside the cylinder, we had to seal against the pins. On the valve face, we had to seal against the valve face. And on the head gasket surface, we had to seal against the pins on the head gasket surface. 3 different stress points and loads and directions. The problem is that area is like this thick between those, actually on a flathead about this far. So you got pins coming in from this way, pins coming in from this way, and pins coming from that way. Well, how do you do all these pins that are this long? Well, they can be that short. They have short pins. But they don't work that way. They're in the way of each other. So what I did was I did basically a weave at different angles, and I did different screws at different times. I had to figure out which way I wanted to do it to get the maximum strength for the condition I thought I needed to make it the strongest. So that's what I did in the video. And then when I went to cut the pins out, I found out the cylinder was way out of round. And so I had to play around the milling machine and just cut the pins and not the block any. And I'd have to hone it to size. But see, it was already finished. It already had racing fit pistons. I mean, it's already loose as goose. So how much more you want to make them looser? And then I measured the other two cylinders. They were nice. And then the other one, the fourth one, it was way, way out of whack. That thing was like 15 thou taper, and it was ridiculously out of round. So I took that one. I wound up hand honing that all out because I don't have a big. I do automotive work here. I do work on Harleys. So I wound up doing it by hand, and it worked pretty good when I was done. I got that thing pretty damn squared up. I think it's about 3 thou out of round in places, and the worst, and everything cleaned up really nice, and it just worked. And then it's just all about preparation, do it in a progressive manner that's logical, that makes sense for the condition you're working at. Every application is different. You have to figure out what you need for that application. It goes for anything you're working on. And that's why I use different parts for different things, different cams, different whatever. And so it's all part of it. But anyway, I gave it back to them. The new mechanic he didn't think it would seal a drop of water in the damn thing. So he went ahead and did a pressure test on it. He filled it up full of water and put 100 pounds of pressure on that thing and let it sit for a couple days. It didn't leak a drop of pressure or water. I couldn't believe the block didn't blow out of size because I know how thin those cylinders are. But anyway, I get all kinds of negative comments on that videos, but whatever. All I know is I saved that $3,000 for the Babbitt work that was done. And that's all the customer cared, and I saved their block. So he had another block he wanted to do all this work to. We'll fix yours. All right, well, that was a long-winded excuse for a quick answer, but I do that too. All right, well, anyway, that's how these things go. Like I said, if you leave comments, I'll answer to them. If you want to call me a bunch of stupid shit and get in my face, don't be surprised if it comes back in your face. And there might be a couple comments from other people come back in your face because you're a dumbass. And so that's how it works around here. So if you don't like the channel, don't watch it. I don't give a shit. I have no idea how big it is anymore, but it is what it is. Well, anyway, if you want to help me out any, go to PayPal. Here's my PayPal account name, which just happens to be my email address. So if you Google Tetra Machine, you'll come up with my name. So it's tetramachine@cox.net. That'd be cox.net. And just go do friends and family me, whatever you feel comfortable doing, and I'll take it and build a channel from it, and and just cover my bills for this month would be nice too, but I'll work around it. The other thing is I want to try to eventually do my long short-term goal is to do some kind of I can't think of the names right now, a non-profit, educational non-profit, and do like a school. And I got a lot of property up in the mountains, but I got to put buildings up to do what I want. But actually, it's my mother's property, but it's going to be mine. So I can go in there and we're going to put a few buildings up, and then I'm thinking about just doing like a lottery system or some really, really good story thing, and bring in whatever project you want done, and bring it, ship it in. You can come too if you want, and I'll have an area for you can stay, and you can be out in the middle of nowhere, but if you like the desert, it'd be fine. But anyway, that's what I was thinking about, doing stuff like that, and then just do series on what we're doing at that time, and I like the customers learn how to work on their own damn bikes. These stupid shops don't know how to do anything. Can't you tell by how much rework I do? I got so many motors in this year that have 0 miles on them, 5 miles, 20 miles, 50 miles. Jeez, I can't remember how many parts I've had to destroy. They're all brand new stuff. It's literally destroyed. Dumbasses don't know how to do anything anymore. I know, you think you put it all together and it doesn't rotate, you maybe should take it apart and fix it or something. You just put gas in and hit the starter button, because you can't kick it if it had a kicker. But you know, you put that 2 kilowatt starter on that big car battery on the side over the jumper cable and hit the starter, it'll turn over that pig. Yeah, it'll turn over all right. Fucking destroys everything. But anyway, that's my long-term deal. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. I'm not a computer guy, but anyway, I need some kind of help on the management side of things and get my shit together in the real world. And I'm in my high 50s now. I can't do this forever, but I'm never going to retire. I love what I do. That's why I do it. So it's just, you know, get the YouTube channel to make it some money on its own. That'll pay for what I need initially, and then, you know, I don't know how this non-profit stuff works and all this, but I was going to really go take a couple classes. So I got some neighborhood stuff around here. Does one advantage of a low-income neighborhood, they get a lot of government help from city, state, and federal. So they help on this stuff like this a little bit. So I was going to go do some of that, but you know, being gone for a week didn't help it any. And I was pretty sick the week before too. I just kept working. But anyway, that's my terms or my long-term efforts. So like I said, I don't know if anybody can really help that much on the type stuff like that, but that's what I'm trying to do. I'm tired of working 16 hours days here and another. You don't realize how much time it takes to do videos anymore for post, you know, edit. I don't really edit. I put them together and I cut them or I put them together. I pretty much try to shut the camera off when I want to. This video is going to be a little on the long side, so maybe I'll cut it a little bit. Maybe I'll make it a 3 section. I don't know. I'd leave it long. I'm lazy, but you know, I'll figure it out. I don't know how long it is yet. But anyway, we'll figure out what we're going to do in the long run. But channel's not going to go anywhere unless I die, and I'm not dead yet, so there you go. That's all you can ask for in life. Alright, good luck with everything, and hope you guys are all well too. See you later.